Hello, Alec Man, and welcome to your deck review. For everybody else, it's another custom deck, but this one is Gavan Infinity, which I believe is Power Rangers adjacent. We're looking at a Jeskai beat-em-up deck that is trying to give everything triple Sunburst, which is funny and a lot more powerful than I thought when I first looked at this card. So Sunburst says, when you next cast an artifact or creature spell, or Sunburst, when it's on a spell, says for each color of mana you spent on it, you get either that many +1/+1 counters or that many charge counters. And our commander says whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to a player, our next artifact or creature spell gets Sunburst. So theoretically, we can get it 3 times in one turn. We could get it 6 times in one turn if we did multiple combats, etc., etc. This began as a precon, is no longer a precon. We want it to be playable in bracket 2. So we don't want to do things that are going to piss people off because the deck has a lot of rule 0 requests. We have a custom commander. We have multiple custom cards in it. I'm not super going to interrogate how likely people are going to be to let you do that because I don't know how convincing you are. And I don't know how much money you have to give to strangers to get them to agree to this. But I think this is mostly fine. We have a big spacecraft that lets us cheat stuff out based on damage. Cool. We have big spacecraft that gives us charge counter payoff. We have all will be one. We have a way to put 1/1 counters on our whole board. We have a way to put more counters and more charge counters on stuff. When we sack artifacts, we can build this up. Sure. And then we have when an artifact you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, deal X to any target where X is the counters it had on it. Cool. And we can flip this guy into... Oh no, he starts as Ragey. Right, because I was looking over these customs before I hit record. On attack, we get a clue token. We put a charge counter on stuff. All pretty reasonable. We have 2 counter spells. We have 4 evasive creatures, which... This makes sense to me. Like, derogatory. We want to be evasive. We want to be able to deal guaranteed combat damage for our commander. It seems weird to me that we are not using evasive artifact creature tokens. I know those exist. I think those work better with artifact synergies. Those for sure work better with, +1/+1 counters on everything. So I think my first line of offense would be like this. Yeah, where's Loyal Apprentice? Where's I think Tagger is going to be my friend here. Repeatable artifact tokens, and we'll double that up. Repeatable creature tokens. Okay. Like Psy. Thopter Spy Network seems perfect for this deck. TPI is good, but these tokens aren't very evasive. Relv's Hive, they're not very evasive. I could even see efficient construction. I mean, hell, Sharding Sphinx seems really like it. Like, I guess maybe you said somewhere in here that we're not meant to be... You might say to me, well, Mauled, we're not meant to be super go-wide. And then I would say reread your custom cards. Because I think your custom cards do kind of want you to go wide. Your custom cards care about having multiple artifacts to sack. They care about having many creatures to put our stuff on. They care about being able to modulate our damage very precisely, which is going to come from having multiple attackers, and we can count how many we want to send in. We want to have a lot of artifacts with a lot of counters to make them leave the battlefield. This guy gets buffed crazy style based on how many artifacts we control. This guy also, right? Oh no, this guy shoots, and then this guy gets buffed. So yeah, it's if you don't want this to be go wide, I think there is some friction there with how you have built with how you with what you have incentivized based on your custom cards. So like these the four that I showed you should almost definitely go in right away. You might even be able to argue for Ferris Rokirik just to have like a big 4/4 because those would be better. Those would be better for crewing for sure. Um, yeah, because we're Jeskai, right? Yeah, we're Jeskai. So I'm not fucking you up on colors there. Uh, I mean Pinnacle Emissary too. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep moving. Nefarious card touchery. So we have discard to draw and to make treasures. We have tap untapped artifacts. Another thing that wants us to have these artifact token makers. Look at the top X, reveal a basic land or planet, and put them into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so just like get my land drop for a turn. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, mill 2, you may return any number of artifact cards from them to hand. Okay, so that one, we don't have to have super go wide artifact time, but we still want to be playing artifacts and we're not yet super incentivized to play, creatures like Slitherblade or Triton Shorestalker. Uh Demand answers. We want little artifact chaff. On attack, you may reveal the top card of your library, draw an artifact, otherwise put 2 charge counters on that. Very cute, yeah. Insight engine, we care about proliferate, good lord. Long range sensor, we care about attacking multiple people, care about having a lot of artifacts. Unexpected windfall, voyage home. Willie Lumpkin's fucking adorable. He is carrying some heavy, heavy mail. Oh, he's working with the Amazon drones. Sure. Yeah, I get it. I think all of this proliferate makes sense. I think the protection package makes sense. The mother, the daughter, and the weird dog. Um, what is our ramp section? So we have proliferate ramp, normal ramp, uh, proliferate ramp, and sunburst ramp. Sure, yeah. Another way to give sunburst. Eternity Elevator Weathermaker. Yeah, more proliferate stuff. I like that removal. I like that removal. I like that removal. So cute, but bracket 2 is 100% the place for these. Like that removal, that removal, that removal, that removal. Oh yeah, and then you showed me this one. We get rid of unmodified creatures, and then they cannot block or cast creature spells until our next turn. Fuck! There the whole time. Great. Yeah, I think Whirler Rogue also good. And Artist Sack package. Cute. Borderline inclusion, charge counters matter package. Okay. Clues draw 2 package. Oh, 31. That's weird. Okay. So this is like most of the deck. I'm I'm tweaking a little bit. I'm tweaking a little bit silly style. Okay. So if this is most of the deck, why is this? Yeah, we have even more evasive guys. Why is this most of the deck when we care about dealing damage to give sunburst? That is astounding to me. Like the main thing we care about is drawing 2 cards, and most of these things care about like each turn, right? So if we wanted to get really crazy with it, we would be trying to draw cards on our opponent's turns as well. Um, yeah, each turn. So we would be wanting to do like either I have a lot of mana to cast instant speed card draw, or we would be wanting to do, obviously everybody wants Consecrated Sphinx, but our game changer, if we went to bracket 3, would be Consecrated Sphinx. We would care about things like Fairy Mastermind, Gleaming Splendor, um, like Queen of Dale. This is downright strange to me. Hold on, I'm gonna pause and reread the primer you sent because it is quite quite prodigious. Okay, I remain deeply, deeply confused. I was so with you until this 30 card clues draw 2 package. I think we've done this because we're like, oh yes, artifact tokens matter. Artifact tokens leaving the battlefield matter. I will be cracking my clues all the time. Maybe that works for bracket 2 because it's so bad, which could mean perfection. But if we do want to do this, I think we need way more things that tap for that clue mana. Because like the reason clues suck is 2 mana, sack this artifact, draw a card. Like, doesn't sound that bad, but in practice, when you go to do it, especially if you want to be like sunbursting and casting, and like your commander wants you to cast a spell, that 2 mana can like mega kick you in the dick. Like, we'll be fine from turn 6 on. Like, we'll have enough lands to go, okay, I spend 2 for a clue to get this benefit, and then I spend like, the rest of my mana for Private Eye or for Min, and then they have like triple Sunburst, and so they come in really big. But this is like a real hard left turn, I feel like, from what your commander wants to be doing, because your commander wants little evasive guys, and then other things that care about having really big power, right? Like, just looking at your commander, which is I get to give something triple Sunburst, and then the other custom cards, which is I want a really high artifact count. You want all of these things that shit out artifact tokens, and then you want to be playing like, hey, threefold Thunderhulk, triple Sunburst. I used Jeskai mana to make him. That's 9/1/1 counters. He comes in as a 12/12, and then I win the game. Or other things that have like Jeskai power matters. Or even like, you could even keep the evasive creatures, because if you play an unblockable Slitherblade, even though it's like dogging on him, you play an unblockable Slitherblade with triple Sunburst, and he comes in as a 10/10, like, yeah, that'll win. That'll win the game. You'll get there. I believe you. But we're going so deep to support this clue synergy. I do like that a number of our evasive creatures are artifact creatures, but I can't help but feel like we are missing a little bit on... I mean, I guess we're allowed to miss because it's bracket 2. That's the weird thing about bracket 2. You're having, like, your plan is supposed to be a little bit out there. It's supposed to not work that well, but this seems like it seems planned out a weird amount for how much it does not really work with itself. Let me go to the playtester and see how that comes together. So my current advice for people who are watching this and don't have a bunch of Gavan Infinity custom cards, don't commit 30 cards in your deck to a totally different thing than your commander's doing, unless your commander's a counterweight commander, which I don't think we have. I don't think we have for this guy. So we have no evasive creatures, so we mulligan. Okay, we get Skrelv. Oh, but Skrelv's not going to be unblockable Win on turn 4, I don't think. So we mulligan again. I'm gonna keep going until I see something I like. All right, 4 mulligans deep. We've got Willie Lumpkin. So we'll play Ancient Den. Next turn, Command Bridge. And we have to tap like that. Next turn, Willie Lumpkin. Next turn, get our commander. We swing him, Willie Lumpkin. Us and that opponent draw a card. Next thing we cast that turn as Sunburst. We don't get to do that. We go 1/2 for Loyal Apprentice. We make our flying 1/1. 3 creatures deal damage. We draw our Willie Lumpkin card. So now can we, yeah, red, blue, white, great. So we Jeskai, we triple Sunburst, and we go Surge Conductor. And now Surge Conductor, if I'm reading this triple Sunburst correctly, which I am gonna double check. If it's a creature, enters with an additional +1/+1 counter for each color of mana. When 1 or more, we dealt damage to 3 players. Yeah, that's all good. So this comes in as a fucking massive guy. How do I... So 12, 11. And whenever another non-token artifact enters, we can proliferate. We make another 1/1. We swing again with our unblockables and our giant dickhead. Draw a card for Willie Lumpkin. We have triple Sunburst again. Probably Demand Answers, getting rid of a Loyal Apprentice. Stopped her. I mean... Windfall, discard this, draw 2, make 2 treasures. We don't really get anything we're looking for. Like, I can do Silver Raven, but we can only pay 1 mana into this, and so we're not going to get, you know, the big triple Sunburst all the way across the sky. This is 6. So we just have 2 treasures. We fizzle that turn, in no small part because I was being a greedy, greedy boy. We could have just gone for Weathermaker, but I did not. I will discard Weathermaker. I don't care about him. Same deal happens. We do a bunch of damage. We draw a card. And then we... I don't want to play any of these, man! I mean, we do big Thought Monitor. I think that's the angle. White, blue, red. Thought Monitor, draw 2. And he has 9 +1/+1 counters on him. I mean, these two are big enough to be like Avengers level threats by themselves. We can drop Prismari Command to draw 2. Fuck me, man. I'm discarding these unblockable guys. We'll get long range sensor down. What's this card do? Okay, so we can make this come in as a 7/7 with flying and vigilance just with triple Sunburst. That's pretty compelling. I like that angle. I haven't seen any of these draw 2 cards. Did I get like tricked by Architect's sideboarding again? Was this like a sub theme that we didn't actually keep in the deck? Okay, either way, we don't want to do Damning Verdict yet because only 2 of our creatures and 2 of our like least important creatures have the big counters on them. We do this, we swing, we get triple Sunburst, we get charge counters on this. We can pay 1 to discover 4. Great, we get Kilo. Oh, we don't want to do that, actually, because we want to use the Sunburst first. We play this. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has 9 charge counters on it. Massive guy. Now we long range sensor for Kilo. We hold up swords to plowshares. Cool. We could have played this differently to play protection, which I think is relatively responsible. Uh, I mean, here I'm hard pressed to believe we're not just winning, but I do want to, like, is all this second draw stuff in the deck or not? No, it doesn't appear to be. Okay, so this is just Architect being a fucking dog shit, having the most dog shit display I have ever seen in my life. Right? Because we didn't see, I didn't see these guys, and I didn't see them in the list either. I didn't see these guys. I didn't see. Yeah, we didn't see these guys. I'm so okay. So it must be they're a slightly different shade. So the bright white stuff is actually in the deck. The gray stuff is not. Okay, makes so much more sense now. So looking at the stuff that is actually in the deck, I think the things I take the most issue with are these cheap little unblockable guys. I think you would imagine like, oh, these should be so good, these should be so cute. They do what I want the deck to do. I don't think they do enough of what you want the deck to do, and you really want stuff to be 3 mana in this deck. You really want to be able to spend Jeskai on a spell because otherwise the triple sunburst falls short. And I think there is enough stuff under heaven to replace these with things that will make you the evasive tokens you need for your commander and not soft non-bow. I'm going to say soft non-bow because I misspoke earlier in the video being like, oh yeah, you put 9 counters on Slitherblade. You can't! You can't because they fucking cost too much. Um, I'm I'm down with the treasure makers. They work with the things that make you that care about you sacrificing artifacts. But I think the weakest part of the deck is the part where we give up our artifact count for things that are not artifacts and things that do not make artifact tokens when we clearly do want to be a go wide artifact deck. Um I'm glad it seems like we pulled back on that draw 2 theme. Um I think it pretty cleanly works. I would recommend Psy. I would recommend Sharding Sphinx. I would recommend where was it? I would recommend Thopter Spy Network for sure. Holy fuck. Giving you your evasive creatures, giving you shitloads of card draw to go with your Sunburst to make sure that you have something attractive enough to Sunburst on. And I think it's fine if you're waiting until like is your commander an artifact? No, that would be way, way, way too good. I think it is fine if you go a little slower because this is so much more explosive than I was originally thinking it was because I was not like fully thinking through how many counters Sunburst was going to have. Um so whether you wanted to like add in rocks to play your commander earlier to have more artifact spells cuz like 4/4 with first strike is going to get through a few times no matter what happens. Uh very not sold on the unblockable guys. Um, I'm slightly more sold on Silver Raven just because it is an artifact, but me personally, I'm probably cutting all 4 of those. I am probably I'm probably also cutting at least one of these cards at random. For me, it would be Thought Monitor. I like this is the wrong card to cut. I just Thought monitor is like, for me, I've seen it so many times. I always want to see different cooler things, and this is where I would suggest adaptive omni tool, because you have a first striking commander, you're going to have a high artifact count, you're going to have a lot of evasive creatures. Being able to move this around, get your best artifacts off the top of your deck, and beat the fuck out of people is going to be amazing. It really doesn't matter what you replace it for. Probably Thought Cast, because this is like one of the only things in the grouping um, that you cannot benefit from Sunburst, and you cannot benefit from, well, you can because it's affinity. It would still be Thoughtcast to me. Either Thoughtcast or Demand Answers, whichever of those two you would rather get rid of. Um, Proliferating is fun. I don't even know if you should be on that much proliferation, dog. Triple Sunburst is so fucked. I would say I would be very critical of things that are not 3 mana that I'm trying to proliferate with. If it's not 3 mana, I would question its inclusion, just because so many spells that are like, oh, you're 3 mana, but you're not quite good enough. What if you had 9 counters on you? Like 3, 6, or 9. Any amount of those counters, we don't care. It's fine. So like these protection pieces become more questionable. Thankfully, these are good enough cards that I would just play them regardless. Ripples, it felt a little bit woof woof ow ow, because we weren't putting like a lot of counters on anything that we didn't sunburst in. And so all the stuff prior to our commander was like, we can't even really protect this thing. So it would be probably good to replace one of your interaction spells with Requisition Raid. Really easy way to deal with non-creature permanents. Also really easy way to get +1/+1 counters on everything. Like in that playtest, it felt like we had way more ways to proliferate than we had things we cared about proliferating. Facebreaker's cute. You could definitely cut him or her. You could cut her for something. She's so good at everything we want to do, though. Nah, don't cut her. Never mind. You could cut Weathermaker. It's cute, but it's already for a different universes beyond, you know? You can just plug your own stuff here. Drill Too Deep is quite bad. I know that I know you want to play it so badly. Quite weak. I think Prismari Command could also go. And quite frankly, for these, I would be looking for anything that was at the that was at the 3 or more mana value and was an artifact. Mana value greater than or equal to 3, type artifact, commander, Jeskai, OTAG, removal. OTAG removal. We don't care about, or we don't care about vehicles because charge counters don't help our vehicles. Oh, like fucking Lux Cannon, bro. Sunburst in a Lux Cannon. Show them what's up. Show them what's up. Proliferate these nuts, bitch. So I'll probably run that. Extinguisher Battleship would fuck us up. Right, this is charge counters. Dude, transmogrifying wand. Let's go. They gotta have wands in this TV show. I'm begging you. So these are, I think, more thematic, work way better with the sunburst mechanic, and count as your removal thing. And then from there, I think you're pretty good for a cute bracket 2 list that people won't be too offended by. The conversation around your commander might be hard to navigate because holy shit, will that feel very spooky. but I wish you the very best of luck, and I do hope this helps.